Hey guys, and welcome to Farming Simulator. I almost called it my Farming Simulator. God knows why. And as far as I know, this map is called Estancia La Pacho, which sounds extremely cool. It's more like a little bit more interesting than ye old, how can I say, the river going over the bridge farm, or just my farm, or something like that. But basically, yeah, I want to do a little bit of a play on this because I do plan on streaming it for one, and secondly, this is a good point to get it started. And thirdly, I want to show some mods that I typically use to make the start of the game a little bit better. Now you can take it as cheating in a sense. Sugarcane, ooh, sugarcane harvesting. But there are a few things. I mean, the mods are available. These things are used in real life, and they tend to make it a little bit easier. It's just some of the maps even have these things as standard and some of these don't, so I just want to show you guys what I'm going to include as a standard game and then get straight into it. Now, the biggest issue I usually have is when you're plowing. Do I even have a plow? I don't think I do. Let's see. No, it seems like I have pretty box standard bits. But when tractors are concerned in this game, they are shit. And it's kind of weird that they focus on kilowatts or horsepower, because in a sense you want pulling power like you have on a truck. You want torque, because if horsepower is really for high end, I'm getting way too technical here, but yeah, horsepower is more like high end power where you get speed out of it, where torque is really like your pulling power. Something like this is going to have an insane amount of torque at 525 horsepower, and yeah, you want pulling power. And since it focuses on horsepower, I guess it's just industry standard. I'm not deep into the industry, even though this is my mainly played game. I have no background in agriculture besides working on self-propelled sprayers. But even then, I mean, they don't pull anything, they just have all their equipment built in. So the biggest issue in this game, given the price, even though you can take out a loan, is the crappy power you get with the standard. I mean, it's nice tractors, but for the size of the fields you want to do, and you have like a 2 meter, 3 meter plow, it's painful. Let's just be honest, it is painful. So what I've done is I don't think I have the roper back. I think that's the only one I don't have. But I have these ones, which I'm really looking forward to. If you haven't at all, Google this one. It is absolutely massive. It is impressive to see. But what I usually use is this one, the Kirovets K700A. For one, it's 78,000, which isn't extremely expensive, and you get 220 horsepower out of it. And I think I'm just gonna buy one. I need a loan though, because I have no money. So let's get a loan. Those of you that have never played this game and don't know how to get a loan, don't click that one. I've done that before. Let's just get... it doesn't matter how much you borrow, because even though it costs you at the end of the day, and there is interest paid on this, it's not much. You can, I think if you have a big loan, it's like 600, 700 pounds or dollars or whatever currency you're playing in. So you make that back easily. You can go into the red, you can get out of the red. I don't think it really loses you the game. I've never really gotten into the red in the game before, but I know there's an achievement for getting into the red on the first day. So what I do is, instead of buying something that's extremely powerful, look, let's just see what's the equivalent. Has 225 horsepower, has less fuel capacity. It's 192,000 pounds. Now that is what, 106 more, 104 more, 104,000. I can't do math today, my brain's nowhere. 114. Whichever the number is, it's a lot more expensive. You can literally get two of these for the same price. Now the only thing that I know is an issue with this, if you get one, definitely going to go for twin wheels. I love big machines. Any other colors? Any case, I think the only issue with this is I don't think the AI, the standard AI in this game, like driving articulate vehicles for whatever reason. I am not a good programmer, nor am I a programmer on this game, but they apparently don't like it. I don't use the help much. I like to play this game co-op or something. The odd task, if I can't be bothered with it, then I do it, but not really. The second thing is, if you can get it, it makes your life easier. I think there is Humongous Plows, that one, which is, let's just say, it's horrendously expensive, but for 10.5 meters on a plow is amazing. Normal ones are 6 meters max. I think that's 77,000. I don't know if that's part of an expansion. 4.9, ouch. 3 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters. When it gets to 2 meters in this game, it feels like you kind of can just go out there with a hoe and do it yourself, because it's that bloody slow and fucking painful, excuse my language. So what I did was I got this Weeba 6 meter mod. It doesn't, let's just see, what's just the equivalent 6 meter one? That's 4.9 meters, it needs 240 horsepower. That is 6.2 and it needs 300 horsepower. And they're all like these fancy flip over, all of these stupidly complex things. You get the old bar with the old Sharpie bits on it. Only needs 180 horsepower. And it's only 17 grand. And I am cheap as fuck. So I'm gonna go for that one. Just buy it. Yes. And it's foldable, by the way. So bar the fact that I just put dual wheels on my machine, and I'm probably going to drive over everyone that I could possibly can find. Let's just see, where is it? Where's my lovely? There she is. Now, if you're not impressed by that, and I mean, okay, small things amaze the small minds type of thing, and I am one of them, that is a beast. I mean, dual wheels, lots of torque. It is slow as all balls, but it is well worth getting. And the articulation, I don't know, I find plenty of people that don't like articulate vehicles because they're harder to drive. I mean, I've driven something with 4-wheel steer and it is absolutely a dream to do that. And you can fold it up, like I said. But yeah, it makes life so much easier. Especially when you're doing something yourself. Ghosts in my ass again. And yeah, it just, getting the combination of this with the plow makes your game so much easier. It's well worth the money. Now I just have to figure out where the bloody hell I am and where I have to go. I think that's my place. Field 14, 1 and 2. I always put plowing fields on. Plowing fields. That just sounds sketchier than it should. But yeah. Oh, and one more thing, which I find really funny about this thing is, you know, if you buy, you get the smaller tractors and they have these little dinky donk horns. Like, it sounds like someone in a Fiat 500 behind you, like pressing the horn, trying to get past it. And I mean, if you're driving behind this, you're not gonna honk at it. But it doesn't have like the big horns the bigger tractors do, like the proper like bus horns, if I can put it like that. But what makes it a little bit scary is if you listen to this, it sounds like a bloody taser. Now if you're behind someone and they're driving slow, which God knows no one will be driving slower than 20 miles an hour on a bloody highway, and if they do, they are fully deserving of being run over by something like this. I hate slow drivers, not a particularly fast driver, but when you do 20 miles an hour under the recommended speed limit, it makes my blood boil. It's fucking annoying. I have places to go. I feel like I have a life, so there are places I want to be. And yeah, it is just seriously painful. I don't know why people do it. But yeah, it's just, it's weird hearing a bloody taser on this. It is just, it's so weird. It entertains my brain way too easy. I have ooh shiny syndrome, and this is a ooh shiny moment for me. I cannot help myself. One more thing it is not up to date whatsoever. There's one thing I want to show you, especially if you play this game single player and you wish, wow, that is red, that's gonna make it so much more difficult for me. But let's just see. If you're playing this by yourself, it can get a little bit monotonic, and I mean, I have ADD. I love this game. I've played about 160 hours in my free time of it, which is quite a lot because I think my closest game, even in Final Fantasy, is way less than that. Plant growth fast, plant withering off, periodic plowing on. Let's make it fertilizer states at like 3, just because, I don't know why, make life difficult for myself. But if you ever play this by yourself, there is a neat little mod that everyone probably knows. It is called the GPS mod, and it's this one. It works really easily. I can't find the instructions for it anymore, which is ridiculous. I think I could only find the German ones, but it works pretty easy. All you do is Control 0 on numpad, it brings that up. If you press delete or full stop on numpad, it brings all that up, it cycles it. It's pretty easy, though you have to be careful of the function of it. If you look at this, this is the, how can I say, work width of the, well, appendage of your vehicle, the little tool you have on. There's automatic working width. Now, since I'm a little bit skew, and I've seen with some tools, it puts it to whatever width it is, like this, on diagonal, which is gonna piss you off because you're gonna turn around and you're gonna have a nice little gap of unplowed soil in between. So what I usually do is I just tip it to 0.2 meter under it, so there's a tiny bit of overlap, just in case. You might have to like do one little stripe on the side when you're done. Doesn't really cost you much to do that. Offset is also a bugger, but I've seen if you do plowing clockwise, I'll just show you with this in any case, but it's not necessary with this one. Let's just see, work with, where's the set? That's adjusted left or right. You can rotate the course like manually or just do 90-degree steps depending on what map you're playing on, because sometimes it's not in a straight line. Offset is just mostly for plows, but I keep it on 0 and I just go in the circular motion and just overlap eventually. Reverse offset is for plows you can flip, but in any case, before it gets too technical, what you can do is Control W turns the satellite on. You can put it in cruise control and just, I think I've missed a bit, wiggles his ass a bit, and just put cruise control on. And especially, I don't know what you want to do to keep yourself busy, but now that's in cruise control, it's keeping itself straight. You can still watch it, you can still have someone else doing something else, you can have a helper harvest, but if you specifically want to do this job, it just keeps, I mean, it's gonna sound stupid and it's gonna make me sound old, but I get hand cramps easily and I don't want to keep like pressing the W button, and GPS very much is a thing in real life, so why not just use it? Move this Hunkershite out of the way. I say Hunkershite, but it's quite a good tractor. This is probably the best standard tractor you can get in the game. Let's just move you out of the way. Don't just, oops, getting confused between games now. Don't just park your stuff anywhere in the field. Any case, I will be streaming this as soon as they sort my net out, which they're gonna do on Wednesday. I don't know. Someone that wired the plug socket where basically the phone line goes in. It looks like they were sniffing the paint while they did the wiring, because it looks like a rat's nest. There's broken wires and all that, so my download and upload speed is not only haywire, but it is extremely bad at stages. It's inconsistent as all hell, so just need to get that fixed, and then I can stream. And if all the streaming goes well, I will open this up as a public game as well, so you guys can join if you want. help me out, because I'm as slow as an old farmer. I'm always cautious, so I do things one little step at a time. Would appreciate the help. But yeah, I could always put a list of my mods up, because I don't have many that I run. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. I just pick what makes sense, and I might expand on it eventually, but for now this is more than enough to help me get going. Yeah, this is what you can do if you have an off. I should probably not adjust the offset, but if you have something that can flip over and has an offset, and you don't want to mess about with it every 2 seconds, you can just do it in a nice... Ooh, no, you turn that off. Let's switch that back in line. Let's see, that is almost in line. Just keep it on this, and just go in a clockwise direction, or anti-clockwise, whichever you want to, because then you don't have to mess with the offset, you don't have to flip the plow over, you can just go in circles. It should overlap, or should keep to the line without making a gap, and then it just saves you from wanting to smash the screen and basically delete your game. Also, as you can see, plow is nice and wide, it plows very well. Sorry, I just had to make that joke. And the tractor is making easy work of it. It doesn't take much of its power to do what it needs to do. And if you can imagine, if you had to like swap around, like I do on this one, I did a bad job there. It is pretty easy to just give it a little wiggle and it goes to the next side. So, if I don't know why you'd be playing 27 over 2019. I've seen some complaints about farming some 2019 and it's just reskin and all that. People say, oh, they play 2017, and if you are playing 2017, and especially if you're new to it and you're watching this instead of all the other major YouTube channels for some reason, yeah, 2 mods I can recommend. Well, 3 mods. The GPS mod is absolutely amazing. I don't know who made it, so I can't credit them. If you want to find out who did it, they did an absolute amazing job at this. It makes the game, I can't say more fun, because the game is just fun, and I mean there are repetitive bits to it, but it makes the game, I can't say more interactive either, it just makes it more manageable, if that makes sense. Because there's so many times you can go ever so slightly off, ever so slightly this, or ever so slightly that, and you don't exactly know if you're going a straight line, and then you have to go back just to cover this little bit, and it makes it a little bit tedious after a while, which could take some fun out of it. I mean, even though I'm not driving the vehicle, I'm still in control of some of the processes, which still makes it fun to do. Ooh, and that is when you press too many buttons at one time. Without having it being tedious. Like, in my situation, I'm playing the game, but I'm also multitasking. I'm looking at something, and you can quickly read up on something, or just keep yourself busy. I know it sounds silly, but I can guarantee you, working in the self-propelled sprayer market, people on their phones while the GPS is auto-driving the machine, it is more common than you think. So, it's not just me. You can't judge me, because plenty other people do it. But yeah, it just makes the game a little bit more fun. I mean, I've spent plenty of hours on harvesting fields myself, like big proper fields, after I got my game sorted. And it got a bit much, and then I got the big butt back, and I might show you some of it in the next video, because I have the proper 747 tractor with the full plow and all that. And this is still a small field. You get big fields, and even with this bigger plow, which really helps on the smaller fields when you get started, it doesn't do the job. You get to like 13-14 meters that you want to do at a time, and I was just like, oh my god, this shit's amazing. You can do like massive bits with it, and it's just, oop, let's put that back on. But yeah, you can see it makes it easier. I'll quickly check if the hired workers can drive this thing, because I am pretty sure they do have an issue with it, but if they don't, it would be pretty cool. But I remember specifically, it's when the game first launched, someone mentioned, if you're buying the bigger articulate tractors, just keep in mind you'll have to drive them yourself, because AI seem to struggle with the articulate tractors. And I think there's one way to solve that in a sense. But let's check. Let's give it a go. Just turn GPS off. Actually no, let's just align myself quickly. Get it easy for him somehow, and give him one direction to go. Yeah, see it. Even though the GPS struggles with the articulate bit when going in reverse. I don't know if it's something specific to do with like the alignment of the two axes. That should be it. And let's turn it off and let's get the worker to do it. Completed a stack. Oh shit, he's done nothing. It's not so much going in a straight line. I know I've seen something where I've been driving in a straight line and the thing just wiggles from side to side like it's a worm on fire, and it just makes no sense. Let's just appreciate the beauty of this massive machine. I have the ground response mod on as well, but since the start of the game they've kind of like watered it down. But as you can see, especially when it's been plowed and you drive over it, there is some response, and the realistic dirt thing is amazing. Let's just see how he does on the turning around. I think this is where the issues come in, because the steering characteristics of this is a little bit different. But he seems like he's gonna do it. They might have changed it, I don't know. He seems to be going spot on. Well, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like he's handling it very well. So, another plus of this tractor is AI can use it. They probably fixed it since I started playing the game, but I remember that being an issue. Maybe it's just because there's a straight plow, because I know Offset just drives them insane. Even with some of the planters, the AI just, they don't do like overlapping lines, which is extremely silly. But yeah, he seems to be doing a pretty good. She, not being sexist, she's doing a pretty good job. She seems to be handling it pretty well, so I'm gonna just slow down the time. She can do another good line. It seems like she's struggling a little bit to line it up, but a little bit off parallel there, but once she gets into it, I don't think there's any issues. So yeah, that's another plus. It seems like the AI can actually drive it. But while she's doing that, I want to show you on tractors. That is extremely expensive and extremely powerful. But one, I like it, because it's made by one of my favorite companies. It's amazing to drive because it's four-wheel steer. And the bits you get for it, I think, where is manure spreading? There's one bit that can go on it. Slurry tanks, there's another one. I can't remember all. Is there a sewing machine add-on for it? There might actually be. I can't remember. I don't know if it plants. Tippers, I know there's a tipper bit for it. Or a grain storage, but I don't know which one it is. I'll get into all of that. Fertilizer spreaders, I think I've been in here. No. Sprayers. New Holland. Why they put the sprayer on the front? Don't like lambast me with comments there, because I'm like, oh, it's better at the front because Amazon does it at the back. We all do it at the back. They just want it to be different. No, I'm kidding. But Yeah, loading wagons. I don't think I know there's like 4 or 5 attachments to it. I can't remember which is where and who does what, but I'll look into that. What else is there? Manure spreaders, fertilizer spreaders, windrowers. No, loading wagons. I have no idea. Animals. It could be under miscellaneous as well, but it's a really good mod to get because there's quite a few things you can do. There's the IT runner pack that I'm not currently using, but I think was a expansion in the previous one or a mod in the previous one that's in this one. I think the only thing that they could have added in this one that's in 2015 was the Ultima baling machine that also wraps the stuff for silage. That thing was absolutely amazing. I haven't seen it for 2017 yet, but then again I don't play it as much as I used to. But if someone knows about it and they would mind telling me where to get it, I love that thing to bits. Silage doesn't sell what it used to, but it's still amazing that you get the freaking baler and wrapper all in one go. It just spits it out the back, automated style. Which makes me extremely happy seeing that. But yeah, plans for the farm is, I don't know yet. I don't even know what equipment I have. It seems that I have some sugarcane equipment, which is quite cool because usually you start with the standard crops, wheat and all that. I know if you really want to get started and pay off some loan, there is usually you have a bunch of stuff in storage that you can sell. I think sugarcane is actually a new, yeah, it's a new crop because I got the platinum expansion. But I'm gonna try to do as much as possible. I'm probably gonna start off with sugarcane, even though it's extremely cheap. I don't know if the yield's gonna be high. I can't do sunflowers yet because you need a special header and that piece of hunk of junk steel that I have. Where is it? That ain't gonna keep it because this thing is probably as old as my dad is by the looks of it. Uh, it's quite dainty. I like it, but yeah, it's gonna take a while before I have enough money. How much are the harvesters? I think once you get to that one, I don't know if the Rose and Lou one can put on the header. It probably can. Case. I don't even think mine. Yeah, platinum expansion. I don't know why that's that 105,000 pounds. That 105 and that 124. I'd rather sell a kidney and rather get that thing than have that thing. Harvesting is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm being posh there, but that's just ridiculous if you ask me. But yeah, I'm I'm gonna harvest what I have. I'm gonna plow all the fields, and I'm gonna see what equipment I have, and I'll see where I go from there. But I'm gonna try to do some assortment of things and play around with the machines, cover as much as I possibly can, and we'll just see what's interesting, what's not interesting, but just showcase as much as possible. If I find new cool mods, I'll add them in as well and showcase the machines. But yeah, just my intro episode for my farming sim. I'll see how it goes, and I'll see you in the next episode.